Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The question that we'll be answering today is pretty simple, but the question is, why did God say in Genesis chapter 1 verse 31 that everything he made was good, which would imply that there was nothing missing in it, but then he later said in Genesis chapter 2 that it was not good that the man he made, Adam, was alone? So the simple answer to this question is that Genesis chapter 2, even though it comes after Genesis chapter 1 in the order of the Bible, it actually happened within Genesis chapter 1. Because if you notice, in Genesis chapter 1 verses 27 to 28, it says that God made man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. But the process by which God made the man, and the process by which he made the woman, that came in Genesis chapter 2, but it didn't happen after Genesis chapter 1. It was just written after Genesis chapter 1. But Genesis chapter 2 is simply a description, a deeper description of what God had already done in Genesis chapter 1. So the man and the woman being made was a part of what God said that everything he made was good. It included the man he made, which he said, oh, it's not good that this man should be alone. He made the woman, said, okay, the man, the woman, they are good in addition to everything else that he made. And this is also something to keep in mind when reading other passages in scripture. The order in which it is written is not necessarily the order in which the actual events happen. For example, Esther comes way before books like Hosea, Amos, and Micah and so on. But by reading the actual text, you'll see that Esther happened much later because many of the prophets were written when Israel and Judah had not yet fallen to foreign forces, right? But Esther happened way after. It happened when Israel had already been taken away. Judah had gone into bondage in Babylon for 70 years. Then they left exile, and it was after that Esther happened. So even though Esther comes at that space in the Bible, it doesn't necessarily mean that it happened before or after something else. So, and there are many examples of that in scripture. So it's by reading the full account, you'll be able to see, okay, this happened before this happened after that, and so on. Same thing with Paul's epistles. The order in which they're put in the Bible is not necessarily the order in which they were written. For example, 2 Timothy is most likely Paul's last epistle based on some of the things he was saying, that I fought a good fight, I have finished my course, and so on. And the fact that Demas in Paul's second epistle to Timothy had forsaken him, but in some other of his epistles was mentioned to be a faithful laborer. So stuff like that. It's just something to know so that we don't get confused like, oh, I thought this was before. No, it's not necessarily the order in which they happened that is put in the Bible. Okay? So, thank you for watching this video. If you learned something, don't forget to click the like button and share the video to anyone who you feel might also be interested in this, and to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.